Hello everybody, welcome back to Space Pickle Designs. Today I have a haul from Softflex. If that's something that you'd like to see, just keep on watching. First up here, I just got some resupply. I got some of the craft wire in non-tarnished silver plated here. And I got it in 20 and 22 gauge, and I actually need it in like 24, 26, and 28, so I guess I'll just have to place another order. I didn't know that I was so low on all of those until yesterday when I looked, so that's unfortunate. But they also sent this tooltip card here when working with your craft wire, and it's basically saying, you know, buff your tools. And you can also use the tool magic, which I really need to do. I have it I'm looking at it right now. Like, I have it sitting over there. I just haven't dipped my tools yet, but I definitely want to do that because with some of the darker coatings, and I have a really like strong grip, so I just really kind of manhandle the wire sometimes, and it will damage it sometimes. So I'm definitely going to try that out. The rest of these are just some ear wires here, and I like their ear wires, and sometimes I don't feel like making my own. Most of the time I do, but I really love these two, the antique brass ear wires here. So yeah, most of these are just different colors of the ear wire. So I know that's not very fun, but it is to me. Those are necessary. So next up are these little square dells, and it says Austrian crystal 6mm blackened jet finish. Let's just take a look at these. Definitely want to see what they look like. Very pretty. Let me zoom in. Yeah, those are pretty. It's gonna put a nice little addition of some subtle sparkle into some designs. Put these off to the side. Next up, I got this bead strand here. This is their BCA white, and I think it was like during the month of October, probably. I think Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But anyways, I think the pink one was sold out, but they had the white still, so got that. White, I mean, white can be used in any project really, so these are some beautiful beads. I'm really liking this one right in the middle. Nice bead caps in there too. Okay, next up I'll zoom you out for this, but I got 4 of these bead mixes right here. So on the top of each one, it just has like a coordinating chain. So I'm actually not going to take the chain out yet, but let's just go ahead and look at the bead mixes themselves. So this first one is Pantone 2022 Water Spout. I'll zoom you in a little bit closer here. There we go. Sorry, the focus was looking a little rough there. So first off, we got these nice glass beads here. It looks like a little bit of like dichroic glass. I could be totally wrong, but that's what it looks like. There's like foiling in these beads here, kind of like lampwork beads. You got these giant juicy, like it looks like a check round, fire polish round, kind of in that shape. You got these giant bead caps here in silver. Bend those. Those are probably gonna look pretty good with these. Yep, they do. Fit those pretty well. We've got these cool tube beads here. We have 3 of those. Again, it's like a pentagon shape. We have these little wavy rounds with like an AB finish in the grooves. And these might be, I think these are acrylic. Yeah, they're like an acrylic bead. Oh, we've got a bunch of these rhinestone spacers here. So you get 6 of those. Those are nice. We've got some check glass, what it looks to be check glass. It may not be, but just like a glass rondelle here. Very flat, but faceted on the edge. I'm loving this blue color. I don't really have a lot of beads this color. And these actually do look like real check drops. This is one of my favorite check shapes. I use it in a lot of my earrings that I like to do because it just gives it that extra little touch at the end, especially on a fringe. We have 2 rhinestone balls here. Rhinestone bead balls. And 2 little blue drops. Okay, I'm gonna put this away and then I'll bring out the next one. To keep along with the blue theme, this is the Pantone 2022 in the midnight color. And with this one, you get like a darker, it's almost like a capri blue chain with gold. Definitely gonna have to do something with that. And then this is the bead mix here. Let's dump it out. I've got a few of these actually already in my stash. These are some giant drops here. It's probably a capri blue. That's what it looks like to me. We have some satin looking glass beads here with like a dark AB finish almost. We've got some really chunky spacers here, which I love these. These are like heavy and nice. 4 of those. We've got some almost imitation pearl looking beads here, some diamond beads. Got a nice satiny pearl coating. Those are really light, so those might be acrylic. Let's see, we got some more square bead caps here. We've got 2 giant blue rounds, faceted rounds. Let's see if I can get more of a true color. It's very, very dark, very dark. I love this finish in glass. It's like, not a serpent finish, but it's, I don't know the name for it. I actually forget. It's like carnival or something. I don't know what Sam's Bead Shop called it, but this is one of my favorite finishes because it like reflects purple, blues, greens, depending on what part of the bead that you're looking at. 2 drops there. We've got some cute little chunky rondelle looking round pebble looking beads here in that same super dark color. We've got like these look to be like a Montana blue color. These are some bicones here and they're pretty large, as you can see. And then we have these cute little, I forget the name of these beads. I'm not on point tonight, you guys, sorry. But it's got like an AB coating on one side and you're just regular dark blue glass on the other. Beautiful. Let's get the next one out. Next up is Pantone 2022 Lava Falls, and this, you can see here, a nice warm brick red color for the chain. And then we have a warm red mix here. This has gold findings, which is a delight. So we have 4 of these beautiful rhinestone spacers, and these are a larger size, like a 10 maybe. We have some more of those wavy acrylic beads with the AB finish. Love those. Those look really good. We have some elongated barrel beads in a dark ruby color. This looks like a true Siam if you're familiar with Swarovski. Actually, we have 4 of those. We have some cute cubes here. Some glass cubes. We have like a pearl coated oval bead here. Let's see, another type of pearl coating. So we had the blue as well in that last mix. This one has a little bit of an imperfection on there, but I think these might be acrylic. They're super, super light. We have some, again, some Siam color looking bicones. And again, they match this color here. Really nice, rich red color. We have some like imitation looking freeform pearls. Some gold spacers.
I'm not sure if these were actually meant to be in the mix, but they're like too plastic. I don't think they're glass. I'm just gonna put those in the trash pile. I think those are probably from a strand or something. We have some rectangle beads here with it's like table cut, and then it's got the satin on the edges. We've got these cute little, let me see, these are cute. These are like little briolets, very tiny, 2 of those. And then we have some red saucer beads, again with the fastening on the edges. Okay, let me go get the last one. Okay, and then let me see here. Sorry for the zoom, guys. The last one is Caramel Cafe. So comment down below if you say caramel or caramel. And I'll try to guess where you're from. But we have this nice warm chocolate. It's actually like a milk chocolate color chain here with the gold. And here's our bead mix. And I'm already loving these giant rounds here. This is definitely, I think, my favorite one. So these are like a 12, probably 12, 14 maybe. These are pretty chunky guys. We have 2 of the large briolets here. We have some like little, these are super light, these are acrylic, like little grape bunch beads here. There's no coating on them. Let's see. Oh, we've got some true rondelles here, like a rounded rondelle. Always good. We have some antiqued brass, it looks like, spacers. And this may be like a metallic coated plastic. That's what it feels like, but maybe not. Maybe not. Let me see. No, I think it's metal. But we got a bunch of those. We got some daggers. I love daggers. Definitely got a finish on the one side there. Let's see. Well, we got 2 of these. And these are kind of an odd shaped briolet. See, it's like thicker at the top than and it tapers off at the bottom. Got 2 of those. Got some more table cut rounded rectangles here. Some gold rhinestone square dells. Some daisy beads. These are glass. And then 2 little flower. I think they're acrylic. They almost look like they're not mother of pearl, but they almost got that vibe to them, or tiger's eye kind of feel to it. So I love that mix. That was a really nice mix. Okay, so let me think some things through here, and we're gonna make a couple pair of earrings with some of the stuff that we got here. So let me clear this off, get some supplies, get these creativity juices flowing, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so this is the first design that I came up with, and wish me luck on trying to show this and have it be in frame. This is a really simple design, and if you didn't want to mix the bead mixes that, because I mixed the caramel one with the blue one, the blue one also came with a large bead that you could just use the blue for, and then you could just use silver if you wanted to, or just use another bead on the side there. The rondelles on the side there are just to hide that simple loop as much as possible, so it's not as prominent. But I don't know why, but either reminds me of like the Golden Snitch or like Caesar's Palace, something, just, I don't know. I love it. But what we have here, we have 2 links of chain here. This is 9 each. And they're going to be facing this way. We got to make sure that they're both facing the same way. So the holes are actually at the bottom here that we'll attach it to. I used 2 of the square dells, the rondelles here, one of these large coffee brown beads here, and then I made my own jump rings here, and this is at a 22 gauge, and you'll see why. You only need 3, but I just have an extra one there. So I have this little teeny piece of 20 gauge wire. So what I'm gonna do is just make a really tiny simple loop at one end here. I'm gonna use it on the smallest setting of my pliers. that's what that looks like. Fix it up just a little bit. Then we're gonna feed on the square dell, the giant coffee bead here. That's what I'm calling it anyways. And then the other square dell. And as close as possible, don't make it too hard on yourself because this is really tricky getting this chain on here. We're just gonna tilt it and make another simple loop. It really doesn't have to be the closest loop in the whole entire world, because that's what had me struggling for like 10 minutes off camera. But I think the result is worth it. So we're just making this little loop here. And as you can see, there's some movement, but that's not gonna be too bad when you actually have it shrunk up, because it's just gonna lay like that. So I'm gonna open up one side. Now this is the hardest part. I'm gonna open up one side, feed the end of the chain through, fold this back in, make sure you're tucking it really well. Don't want that chain coming off. We're gonna go to the other side here. We're gonna find our opening. I think it's on this side. Flip it up, put the other piece of chain on. Make sure that is nice and snug in there. And you also want to make sure that your holes or your loops are facing the same way. So mine are actually perpendicular here, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to move one, which is no big deal. Just take another pair of pliers and make sure that they're both facing the same way. So that's what that looks like. So up at the top here, you can try mounting your ear wire on these two holes here, but I found that it didn't lay as well as if I just put these tiny little jump rings on. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put one on each of the chains. Let's see. Y'all, like I said, my nails are too long. I'm gonna have to get them cut. So go ahead and put that. This is a 22 gauge jump ring here. Make that nice and snug, close that up. And do the same thing on the other side. Keep my jump ring open here. Find the other side. That little jump ring on. Close it up nice and snug. And then we're gonna take one last jump ring. Open that up. Make sure our chains are laying nice. As you can see here, we're just gonna pick up both jump rings in the one. This is pretty hard. It's not hard, it's just hard to do on camera. I'm gonna put the other jump ring on here. I was like, work with me, little fella. Okay, so then we have our jump ring here. We're gonna close that up. Make sure it's nice and closed. Sorry, I was off camera a little bit there. But let me hold that up for you and you'll see what I'm doing here. So I had two jump rings that I attached on the top of each chain, and then I join it with another jump ring. And these are really, really tiny jump rings. So this is how it's laying. And then that just makes it a perfect connection point for the ear wire here. So I'm just gonna open up the ear wire itself. Find that middle jump ring. Attach it to the middle jump ring there, as you can see. Fold that ear wire back in. And this is how that earring is going to lay. And look how cute. I love the contrasting colors for this earring. So those are really beautiful. Love those. Okay, let's see what I can come up with next. Okay, so for the next earring here, this is what we have. We did add some seed beads to put some interest into this, but if you don't have seed beads, you can just leave the wire bare. But I loved these beads from that light blue mix, and I didn't want it to be too heavy on the ear, so I thought I would just accent it with some metals. So I just took one of these thick spacers. I think it was from the dark blue mix, but either way, I mean, you could use like a rondelle spacer too. That one was from the mix itself. So we're only going to use 2 beads from the mix here, but what we're going to do is we're going to take over a foot in length of 22 gauge wire. We're going to start at the bottom here. We're going to take the bail making pliers here, and we're just going to do, I'm using the 4th step up to make a loop that'll hold that little rondelle down there. So I'm going to open it up before I close it, feed on the rondelle into the loop, fold that back down, hold it. I'm just going to do a couple little wraps here, nothing major. I'm going to cut off the excess. It'll all be covered up, don't worry. Put that off to the side there, and then I'm going to feed on this big blue bead here. Bring that all the way down, and then from here, I've already separated out the seed beads here, but I put 30 seed beads on this wire. So that's what I'm gonna do. No, actually, no, I misspoke here. So we're actually gonna make the loop first. So I'm gonna take my smallest, I'm gonna use the smallest side right here and just make a little wrap loop at the top. And we'll fix the direction later, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do at least 3 wraps. Let me see, and I'm gonna do a few more here. Just make it a messy wrap up top before we start adding beads. So that looks about good to me right there. So this is gonna be the little bit of a time consuming part. You're gonna put 30 beads. It doesn't really matter how many beads you do. The more beads you do, the more 3-dimensional it is. So you see how there's like a gap under there? I kind of wanted that little cyclone shape. But I'm just going to keep the same number of beads on each side. So I'll go ahead and put these on and forward and fast forward it. Okay, so I have all 30 of those seed beads on the wire. And just a little tip here. At the end of your wire, we're going to cut off the tip of this wire anyway. So a little helpful thing you can do is take the edge here and just fold it back in on itself. That way if your seed beads fall down, then they're not going to come off the wire. So if I didn't mention before, these are actually 11Os. These are a Toho in the color 164, I believe. Well, at least that's what it is from Beta Beta. So what I'm gonna do, since we already made the messy wrap at the top, that one's all taken care of. So we just want to hold this end here, and this is actually gonna be the top. But we wanna make this cyclone shape around the bead. And what we're aiming for, we can, you know, manipulate this shape a little bit after we get it anchored. But we're gonna take this bare part of wire, and that's what we want to connect with this bottom part here. So just keep your beads in check there, and then feed our wire down here at the bottom so we can make some wire wraps. So once you have it kind of anchored, I like to take my pliers here, just so I don't distort my circle, and hold that big circle at the bottom, and then you just make your wire wrap loops. There we go. And we want to make a bunch of messy wraps down here. And make it nice and thick. I'm using most of my wire here. And once you get to a point where you think you like it, so they're not gonna be exactly the same, and that's the point. We want it to be a little whimsical. But when you get to a good stopping point, you're gonna decide which side you kind of want to be the front. I think I want this side to be the front. So I'm gonna actually take one more wrap around here so I can tuck this wire in the back. Gonna cut the wire. Gonna tuck it in. Best as possible there. Go. A nice little messy wrap here at the bottom. And then whatever side, so I want, when I'm wearing the earring, as you can see here, I want this circle to face front like that. So you just have to, again, decide where you wanted the front to be. I kind of wanted this to be the front. And you just twist until your bead is going to face that way. That's the cool thing about wire. You don't have to be super precise. Unless you want to. But that's what that guy is going to look like. And then you just put the ear wire on. Feed it in. You have your cute little spiral and seed bead earrings with the nice little chunky blue bead there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and little mini blitz here with these 2 pair of earrings. Hopefully I'll have some more projects coming up for you in the future. But if you have any ideas of anything that you want to see, just let me know in the comments down below. And until I see you again, stay safe and well. Bye.